When it comes to pitching, it's always so much fun to just throw a fastball as hard as you can right by the batter, or try to make them look bad on an off-speed pitch. But pitching isn't all about throwing pitches to try and get batters out. There is another way that you can get outs from the mound without throwing a pitch. In today's Bullpen Bulletin, it's part 3 of the series, Becoming a Complete Pitcher. And today you're going to learn how to properly pick runners off at the bases. We're going to go over multiple moves that you can do to all 3 bases in order to get base runners out. So let's get ready to add another tool to your pitching toolbox. Hey team, I'm Coach Hart, this is Building Better Baseball, and this is the best place for baseball education. If we've never met before, then welcome to the team. If we've already met, then welcome back. And before we get into part 3 of this series, I just want to let you know that down in the description, I always have a PDF downloadable guide for you that's free that you can take with you after this video is done. And I'll explain more about that at the end. But for right now, let's get into pickoffs. So I'm going to do all of these moves as a right-handed pitcher, but if you're a left-handed pitcher, you can switch the moves from first base to third base. So the third base moves that I do as a righty, you can do that to first base as a lefty, and the moves that I do to first base as a righty, as a lefty, you can do those to third base. It's the same thing, you just got to flip them. Now we're going to pick off to third base, and all left-handed pitchers, this move that I'm going to do right now, this is going to be your move to first base. It's the same exact thing, right? So as a righty picking off to third base, I'm going to act like you are third base just so I can face you and I don't have to move the camera over to the other side. So I'm going to face you, you're third base, you're where I'm picking off, okay? You have 2 moves that you can do. The first one is a leg lift move. The 2 things you have to remember with the leg lift move is when you come here, you can't cross your foot over your back leg like this. So if I go like this, I have to go home. So if I go like this, I have to go home like that, all right? If I keep everything straight up like this, then that's okay. Then I can step to third base and I can pick off at third base. So you don't want to bring your foot past your leg, and you always have a maximum of 45 degrees, basically a diagonal line in between third and home plate. Or for a lefty pitcher going to first, it would be between first and home. You basically have a 45-degree angle that you can't cross over. Basically what that means is that you can't go like this and then act like you're going home and then pick off. That doesn't count. That would be a balk. So you come here, you come up here like this, and then you can step diagonally at 45 degrees, and then that would be okay to pick off, just like that. Those are the 2 things you have to think about when you're picking off to third or a lefty to first. You can't cross over like this, and you have to stay at a 45-degree angle. How you mess up the base runner is your head. You can use your head and your eyes to mess them up. There are a lot of young pitchers who are just getting used to their pickoff moves and who are doing it for the first time. They basically broadcast where they're going to pitch. So they're going to be here. If they are looking at the base runner, then they're probably going to go home. If they are looking home like this, they're probably going to go to first base or third base for a righty. Use your eyes, use your head in order to mess up the base runner, right? So if I'm coming up here, I would come up here set, I would look home, I would be going back and forth like this. Once I lift here, I would lift as I look here, and then I would look here, and then I do a 45-degree angle and I pick off. One more time. I come here, I'm going back and forth like this, back and forth, back and forth. Once you lift up, you look home, and then 45-degree angle, you pick off, all right? Use your head, because that is most likely what all base runners are looking at, is your eyes and your head. A really, really good base runner is going to look at your legs somehow, right? But most base runners are going to be looking at your head and your eyes. Look back and forth, and use that to your advantage, right? So if I'm here, boom, boom. Use your head back and forth, because the base runner is never going to know which way you're going to go. So that's the first move, that's the leg lift move. The second move is a much quicker move, and it's more of like a snap throw where you step off the rubber. If I'm coming up here, I would come up here like this. Another move is you step off and throw. That is another move that you can do. So you come here like this, right here, you see a big lead, right? You see a big lead where you don't even want to lift your leg. You're going to come here, big lead, look home, step off, throw. So that is another move that you can use in your toolbox and have that available when you see a base runner get a nice primary lead that's a little bit too far, all right? It's just a little snap throw where you step off, you come to your ear, and you throw. Do a little dart throw. You don't move your front leg, you don't do anything like that. You basically throw like this. You don't want to step here and then take another step. That takes too long. You basically come here like this, come set, you step off, throw. So those are the two moves that you can do as a righty to third base and as a lefty to first base is the leg lift move. The two things you have to worry about is crossing over like this and the 45-degree angle. Use your head back and forth to mess up the base runner. And also the quick snap throw move where you come here, you just step off and you throw. So that's all we have today for the pickoff for part 3 of becoming a complete pitcher. Part 3, how to pick off to each base. I gave you multiple moves, 2 moves each that you can do to first, second, and third base. And I want to let you know, down in the description, I have a free guide for you. It's how to get more playing time. It's the same guide as the first 2 parts too. How to get more playing time. This PDF downloadable guide for you, it's free, and it gives you 5 tips to get more playing time on your travel baseball team. Go down to the description, click on the link. It's free. I made it for you so you can get more playing time on your travel baseball team. And if you want to take your game even further, I have online training courses for both players and coaches on my website, www.buildingbetterbaseball.com, that you can check out to take your game to the elite level. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope this video helped you understand that you can get outs on the mound without pitching the ball, and it showed you exactly how you can do multiple pickoff moves to each base. I'll see you next week for another edition of the Bullpen Bulletin.